Well, mail just came in. I finally got my limited run copy of Hi-Fi Rush Deluxe Edition. So, let's see. I had to pre-order this the second it was available. You know, when they announced it, I was very happy. The original game, when it was available on Xbox and PC. I remember thinking, if I get this on console, I definitely will get it for Xbox. It's a great killer app. But unfortunately, it got announced for PlayStation, which I had. I didn't have an Xbox. Nobody had an Xbox. But when they added it for PlayStation, I was like, okay, sounds like you guys don't actually want people to buy the one major killer app on your console. Which is starting to kick them in the ass because now they're talking about that. I gotta say, I like this game, but unfortunately I played No Straight Roads which came out a few years prior. I bought it along with it when it came out. It was digital only. And that game is doing a lot more with its themes, its ideas, and the concepts, and it's kind of weird that it's kind of sort of very similar in ideas and structures and concepts. It's a much better execution, but that doesn't mean Hi-Fi Rush is a bad game. Like, frankly, it's a much better gameplay experience, even if the execution of ideas are a lot more surface level. So when they announced earlier this year that, oh, hey, we here at Limited Run Games are going to be giving you a physical release, I was like, I'm going to drop everything, I'm going to pre-order it, and it just came in. And I'm sure, somebody will say, well, limited run games this, limited run games that. At the end of the day, there was no physical release anywhere else. So, back of the box says, rebel against an evil tech megacorp as wannabe rockstar Chai as his ragtag crew using the power of ruckus rhythm combat. Open up the mosh pit. Tackle a wide range of corporate drones, like actual robots with jobs, in satisfying rhythm-boosted combat. Rowdy rebels versus badass bosses. From production to marketing, face off against each department's fearsome boss, determined to stop at nothing to protect the company's bottom line in over-the-top battle sequences featuring their own music tracks. Features in 50 Best of 2023 list of critics. Classic shipping. Okay, so here's the disc. Game comes with a manual, as one would hope, for a limited run release at least. Oh, what's this? Oh, flip side. So this is the American side, and this is the Japanese side? It's interesting. It is a Japanese game, technically. Well, Japanese game developer studio. Let's take the disc out. Okay, so this is cool. This is a big poster. I'm not a big fan of when developers do this for physical releases, because on the one hand, I like a flip cover, but I prefer my flip covers to, like, that's not a good flip cover. If you don't understand why, it's a bad flip cover because it's one-sided. It's just a whole image, but there's no spine. And because there's no spine, and there's no title of the game, so there's no spine. And because there's no spine, if I shove it on a shelf, I won't be able to identify it. It'll just be, what is that in the middle? Maybe Corsica? It's, you can see where the problem comes. That's why, with Marvel Spider-Man, while I don't use the reverse side anymore, it really was it really was it's much more beneficial to just give you the option to put it on your shelf, because nobody's putting their games on a shelf like this. Nobody's doing that. You can do that. I'm not going to do that. So, that can be an annoying. Let's see. Inside. Feel the beat. After a diabolical robotics company mistakenly fuses a music player in the chest of wannabe rock star Chai, he is swiftly labeled defective with a horde of corporate drones. The powers music along the way. Chai's wannabe. Okay. Let's see. Character profiles. Let's see. Age 25. Okay. A college dropout, still holding on to his dreams of one day becoming a rock star. His lack of achievements doesn't dissuade him from acting like he is the center of attention. By joining Project Armstrong, Chai was looking for a shortcut to achieve his dreams, but got much more than he bargained for. 808, handsome creation of Peppermint. He was taken on a life of his own, originally created to help Peppermint spy on Vandalay. Not good. The ultimate question is she soft like a cat or hard like a robot? The answer remains a mystery to all. Okay. Robotic assistant created by Macron. After meeting Chai and his companions, he began to feel insecure about his ability to contribute to the fight against Vandalay. Corsica, the youngest leader of the... okay. Surprised by the new leadership at Kale, skepticism always lingered in her mind. Okay. Macron. Unfortunately, ousted from the program of the show. Therefore, her interest in Kale. Has a Rogue Fort. However, Kale saw Roquefort's potential and offered him a new lease on life using experimental Vandalay technology in return. Roquefort is indebted and will defend Kale with every fiber of his being. Okay. Although Vandalay is the most well-known tech company in the world, she regularly argues for pulling budgets away from her other side, taken from the position of the face of Vandalay. Okay. And then, so these are character profiles, and then we just swap over to the Japanese side. Okay. It's not very involved, and maybe you'll get a character snippet or two, but it generally seems like it's a lot of substanceless information. But this is a great physical release. It's hatchless. You don't need to patch it. You don't need to download any DLC, which is good because I didn't buy any of the post-launch DLC. I exclusively bought the deluxe edition, and that's it. But I'm happy this exists. I'm glad this exists. I hope another run of physical releases happen, like say for I Am 8-Bit or a limited run, whoever. I wasn't going to get the expensive collector's editions, but you know, I hope that a second Hi-Fi Rush happens, you know, with this physical release. It's a bit of a miracle, and I don't know where else to go from here. I'm just glad this exists. I'm happy to double dip.